So you may be asking yourself, Winero, it's been a long time. When are you going to remove all the craziness? Headdresses and stuff. And when I was putting them on about a minute ago, 2 minutes ago, I thought the same thing. And then I said to myself, well, you should just stop wearing them. It's kind of pointless, covering yourself up. And then I thought about Marsha Linehan and how she, said to never allow anybody in your life to know that you have borderline personality disorder. And how it's better to just not let people know. Because, in essence, it will destroy everything around you. You lose all the people in your life. People will be scared of you. People will judge you. That kind of thing. So, for that reason alone, I will keep the crazy Mickey Mouse headdress stuff going on. I hope you guys are having a terrific day. Yesterday I had a massive collapse shutdown. And I realized today why that happened. And this is very important for all you that do a lot of drugs to hear. So, I am interested in plant medicine, to cure trauma and to just, I believe that God or higher being or the universe, whoever, put those medicines down, those plants on the earth for us to use, for us to connect with the greater power or creation or the universe. I don't like to say the word God, but you could also say God, right? So those plants were put on this earth to give us a greater connection to creation of all things, an understanding about how one needs to live their life. At the same time, if you have too many of those days stacked upon each other where you're doing those substances, those plant medicines or those drugs, if you can replace it with drugs, cocaine, anything, broken down in a small, in the smallest form, whatever the case may be, too many of those days stacked upon each other, you stop using the body like you usually would. You stop going for walks, you stop stretching, you stop doing daily routines, you stop going to bed at a certain time, waking up at a certain time. And the body needs that routine to survive, to feel okay, to be okay. So I started doing the cannabis butter on Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday morning and the afternoon. So I did it for like 4 days straight. And by Sunday night, my body was just wrecked. And by Monday morning, my body was still wrecked because I fell out of that discipline, that routine that we need to take on. And even though I had an interesting experience on those, if you are going to do those things, do them once every 2 weeks, like just one day every 2 weeks, or one day every week, because doing too many days in a row, like stacking them like 3 or 4 days straight, doing, cannabis tea or mushrooms or whatever the case may be, didn't mean to rhyme there, will really have a negative impact on your life, because you need to have that balance. You need to still be a body and do things for your body, and that's the one thing that these plant medicines or drugs, they don't allow you to do. You know, you get so wrapped up in the state of just being and just connecting, and you just get very lazy. The body gets very lazy. You know, you forget about routine. You forget about stretching or going on long walks. You just forget about everything like that. You forget the body. You forget about regular life. You just become so engrossed with just being. And that's that. So, you know, yesterday I didn't do any of the cannabis butter, even though I have some left. I was just like, I'm not touching that stuff, man. I've had enough of that right now. And, you know, but I have enough for like at least another day or two of just like straight binge tripping. And that stuff makes you trip. That's no joke. Um, but yeah, it's nice to be back to normal and to actually be engaged. Yesterday was far gone. I was gonna erase that video from yesterday, but I was like, no, keep it, because like, you know, you made a promise to yourself that you would keep all the videos. And I think one of the main issues that we all have is that we all like to dabble in drugs, and we all like to dabble in drinking. You know, those of us who are like borderline personality disorder, bipolar, clinically depressed, a lot of us like to gravitate to drinking and drugs. Even people with trauma or that were raised in an abusive home or a neglectful home, you know, we look for those escapisms to heal or to just forget, you know, what had happened in the past, or just to feel better. So we get driven in that direction of drugs and alcohol. And even the people we spend time with might be into that scene too. So, you know, it is something that we definitely have to deal with, you know, and talk about for sure. I don't think enough people talk about it. I think a lot of people are just like, oh, just don't do drugs and drink. You know, it's just like, well, you know, if you watch my earlier videos about, you know, the boredom states of, you know, being bipolar, borderline personality disorder, like you tend to have a better understanding of like why it is an issue in our life and why it needs to be talked about, instead of people being like, oh no, just don't do them, have a routine. That only goes so far, buddy. Like, you have to talk about the bigger issues of why we're doing them and why we kind of need them in a weird way. And I don't say you need them. You know, they could be replaced, with fitness and marathon running and really beating the shit out of yourself. I feel like that is one of the key answers to, curing us, is to just really kick your own ass, man. Like, extreme walks, fitness, marathon running, taekwondo, jiu-jitsu, lifting weights, like sex and craziness, just to get it out in a physical way. But Jesus Christ, man, I mean, that's fucking exhausting. But anyways, yeah, I guess I'll wrap this video up, because that's pretty much all it's about, I guess. And I think it's important to also add that one of the things that has happened to me in the past 4 days is, I'll give you a prime example. Like, I met this guy before, like, I started, like, in between, like, one of my doses of tripping. And so I was, like, pretty sober in myself, and, I had a great time talking to this guy. We talked for, like, an hour, hour and a half, and, he got to the level where he, like, could trust me, and he saw me as a good guy and, like, a sober guy, and I had my act together, so he respected me for having my act together. And then he saw me a few hours later, and I was just wrecked, and he could see I was on drugs, and he knew I was on drugs, and he, like, immediately lost respect for me, and he didn't want to be around me, and, like, he didn't really want to have conversations with me or even introduced me to his son, because he knew that I was just a fuck up and a drug addict. So, the lesson I took from that was, you know, I, people aren't judgmental or anything like that. I'm not going to put that on them. It's like people like to be around people that have their shit together. Once somebody sees that you're a drug addict or you haven't gotten your shit together, they lose a notch of respect for you. And so I pretty much just destroyed that relationship with that guy. And the only way to repair it is to go to him and be like, hey man, listen, I'd really like to do like plant medicine drugs like once a week. And you saw me when I was doing them because, and I apologize for that because, and the reason why I do them is because the other 6 days of my week are pain-numbingly routine. And they're like boring as fuck. So I need like an escape for a day just to get high, enjoy, a different life than my routine life that I need to function. Because when you're borderline or you're bipolar, one of the first things they teach you in mental institutions is like, if you want to feel good every day, you need to have a routine. Like, that's it, bro. Like, get a routine. Stay away from drugs and alcohol. Stick to the routine. Get proper sleep. Eat good food. Spend time around people that are like loving and not assholes to you. And create like a positive self-talk. Like, what you say to yourself all day is who you become. What you say to yourself about yourself is who you become. Like, what do you say to yourself? What do you say about yourself? Positive self-talk, no negative self-put-downs or anything like that. Like, that's the way to survive as somebody that's bipolar, clinically depressed, mentally ill, borderline, personality disorder, even a regular person that doesn't have any of those things. Like, that's how you survive. And yeah, so, but the relationships you have with other people will be destroyed. If you keep doing drugs every single day, they'll start to realize that they can't count on you, or they have to pick up the pieces, or like they can't just, you don't have your act together. So like, what the fuck is going on with that guy? Especially if they're your mom or your sister or your brother or somebody in your life. They don't want to constantly be taking care of you. So that's really hard too. Because like, if you're always on drugs, they're always going to have to be taking care of you or worrying about you, because they just want you to get your act together, and you obviously don't have your act together, and it's fucking really hard on them. The only reason why I stopped drinking and doing drugs is for my family, like hands down. And I'm starting to slip, and I know I'm slipping. Like, I had like 3 beers this weekend. Like, I was just doing THC butter Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like, dude, that's slipping. Like, I would have never done that a month ago, 2 months ago. But I'm starting to become way too manic these days, man. I mean, you could even see it watching these videos. The last 2 videos I did, like, I think the videos were like Wednesday or Thursday or Friday. I was so fucking manic, man. I was just all over the goddamn place. Like, my hat was falling off. Like, I was just fucking crazy. So, when you become that manic, man, you just fucking lose your shit. And, like, fucking, you start going off the deep end. Drugs, alcohol, you stop doing the things that you would normally do. You stop thinking about people in your life. You stop thinking about, like, loved ones, family, whatever. That shit just don't matter. You're like, oh shit, somebody just gave me all this THC butter for free. I'm gonna fucking, I'm gonna start binging. And like the person that gave it to me said that there's there's like there's not that much, use it sparingly. Like use it sparingly. And I was like, I don't really know if I know how to do that. Like if I have something, I'm gonna fucking use it and use it quickly and use it all. Unless I hit like a mental fucking breakdown or unless I start collapsing like I did yesterday. And I was just like, oh, I can't do that fucking THC fucking butter anymore because I fucking collapsed. I couldn't survive anymore. I mean, if you watched the video yesterday, you'd be like, God damn it, man, you were fucked up. Like, I thought I had cancer. Like, I still might have cancer. Who the fuck knows? Because my body's so fucked up. But, anyways, moral of the story is if you're gonna do fucking drugs, do them like only once a day every 2 weeks or only once a day every week. Because if not, man, everything in your life is gonna start collapsing. Because your body is not gonna get what it needs. Your relationship with your family, the people around you, it's fucked. So this video is about drugs. It's like, I swear to God, it seems like half of my videos are about drugs. Or being about being manic. But I think that's a big struggle for us, in our community. Not for everybody, but for quite a bit of us. And relationships are another one. Of course they are. Of course they are. And being kind and loving towards yourself, to yourself. Because I think we're way too hard on ourselves and we beat ourselves up way too much. Alright guys, hope you're having a great day. I hope you're not depressed. If you want to read something cool, go on Amazon, read my ebook. Knock down the price to $1, motherfuckers. Doing a lot of gay things today, like gay, nothing wrong with that. Gay people rule. So, yeah, drop down the book to $1. It's pretty cool, man. Really easy read. Chapters are like a page each for most of them. Like a chapter is like this small. Next chapter, this small. It's pretty funny. Anyways, yeah, man. That was it. Fucking, what the hell am I talking about? Yeah, so, yeah, throw that ebook at your family, the book that I wrote for us, and read it yourself, man. That's a pretty cool read. $1. Whatever. I don't know. I'd read it if I had $1. But I don't. Alright, I'm just wasting time now. Just talking. Just looking out the window. Sometimes I get like so zoned out on plants and like trees and the sound of nature and light outside. I completely get transfixed and I just like get completely lost. It's so gorgeous. Alright guys, thank you very much for everything. Buy the ebook if you're bored. Seriously, man. If you're bored. And yeah, and have a great day, man. Peace.